don't think I can go live here either. What's going on, y'all? So again, I'm going to take a couple of minutes here before we go into our actual Pomodoro timer. I'm wrapping up a couple of things that I've been using. I think are really helpful, honestly, in my workflow. Why is this not letting me go live? That's interesting. Ready to start. Okay. So with that being said, let's dive into the next piece and let's see if I can even get live here on TikTok because I'm pretty much good. There we go. There we go. Okay, I'll drop that out. For some reason, it's saying the video is not good, but there we go. Let's go here, attach our video. How's everybody doing? So again, the intention today is we're just getting some workflow going. I want to share a couple of things with you. Oop, let's disconnect that. We're not going to use that camera. It's trying to use, ironically, it was trying to use my phone, which I'm using on Amazon. There we go. We got all the live streams. So let's dive into, I'm going to highlight a couple of the tools I'm using for this workflow and workflow itself. So I just highlighted two things that I was on, like just on Amazon before: my daily Stoic journal with daily prompts, and then my planner. This is like ADHD friendly. So I'm going to kind of reshare this. I'll share the question from the day, and the theme of the week is testing your impressions. And the question for today was, how do my judgments cause me anguish? So it's like a really interesting prompt I journaled on. For me, it was basically my judgments lead me to assumptions and even attachments that I'm less than willing to separate from in the future. So if, let's say, I meet someone, I make a judgment around them, and that can cause me anguish because then when I have to like potentially question that or I have to reevaluate that kind of identity around that person, it's harder to do it. And then it causes resistance and friction and a variety of other things. So like kind of surrendering and really questioning our initial impressions. Then my planner, I want to just show you guys, this is straight up how my ADHD brain looks. Look at, so on the left side, I appreciate they give like a very clear template. I fill things in. On the right side, it is just like brain dump city. This is Mindscape area. It's like a dotted journal where I can just like bullet point, free write, and just like have all these things, like all the stuff that didn't fit on my task, I break down into subcategories over here. There's little things I don't want to forget, like checking my text messages. Like I probably have 20 or 30 text messages over the last like 48 hours I get to go through. So if you're someone that texts me, I haven't gotten back to you yet. I personally have a goal of responding within 24 hours. But I'll be honest, as of late, it's become harder for that. So I'm like reevaluating what that looks like. And just like a variety of different tasks that are related to my big categories, like my LOF habits. So every day I have a particular habit for running my business or how I want to show up, whether it's value add on social media, whether it's responding to leads, whether it's sending out an email, whether it's being able to go through our like follow-up sequence or my CRM and HubSpot and like being able to stay on task with those types of things. Maybe it's a submission claim. Then I have every 100 days, I have particular tasks that are unique to those 100 days. So I have that task off, 100-day tasks. And then each day will have its own things from that. Then I have Shimmer tasks, one of the coaching contracts I have, which is separate from my habits and separate from my 100-day. It's like one of my coaching contracts, some of the clients I get to follow up with. And then I even put for myself, and this is something I did in a office hours, is family and self-oriented tasks. So being intentional with even having time in my planner where I purposely carve out a task to do something for me and for the family. Whether that means, hey, I'm going to make sure Carrie gets to meditate, or whether that means I'm going to take an intentional time to go for a walk with one of the kids, or for my own self, like I'm going to take time to just like shave or be able to meditate, or I already kind of hit meditation. So that's like a separate piece. But for me, honestly, like self-task tends to be like taking time to just slow down, shave, put lotion on, like not the things I need to do. Like I don't need to shave, right? Like that's not something I like. Obviously we need to shower, brush our teeth, do the basic things, but like I can go a couple days without shaving. Maybe that sounds silly too. I'm just saying this is for me. I'm just being super transparent. Like I don't necessarily shave every day. I'll shave every 2-3 days. So having it as a task every 2 to 3 days to shave becomes impactful. So I don't like fall out of the rhythm. Another thing is like daily, just putting lotion on your skin. Like that's something that may sound again silly, but from my experience, especially for guys, like we don't tend to do some of those things, like exfoliate our skin, put lotion on, like being able to take the time to do some of those self-care oriented things that become really important. So, and then having scheduled events, like doing my live streams, doing my coaching calls, doing my business meetings, even showing up for like Carrie and I, if we have date night, things like that, I put it all here. And then being able to build off of that. So that's like a really helpful piece. Now, the one thing I got in the other day that I wanted to share with you guys, I already did on a live stream that, but I want to like break it down a little bit more to give it some more kind of, I think this space it deserves is, well, really two planners. One is this Clever Fox. I really do appreciate their brand. They have like things from daily planners. They have their weekly planner, and I think they do a really good job. This is the daily, this is the weekly, of just like creating a premium kind of product. And then they also have the dotted journal. They have a fitness specific one. I have a fitness one. They have like so many unique customized versions and variations, like an anxiety journal. I haven't used all of them, but like pretty much every month I request a different one from one of my agencies to get this. So for the planner, here's what I'll do is I'll cross compare it to my current planner. And I'll be honest, I love my current planner the most. Stream appears to contain on-screen inactivity. What you talking about, TikTok? Inactivity? I'm right here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So I'm just getting I got a notification on TikTok that they're like, I'm like showing maybe image. I don't know. Maybe I showed something I'm not supposed to. Who knows? But anyways, it's good to know. So my point is being able to cross compare to my ADHD planner versus my daily planner with CleverFox. Like, so here's the thing. The ADHD is like a neurodivergent brain and mind. And the thing that jumps out to me the most with that neurodivergency is if you can look at how much room it gives me to like brain dump over here on the right, this kind of doesn't really afford or do that. It doesn't make it wrong. It just is a little bit tighter. So we'll have like, okay, again, on the left side, my this week's main goal, which I think is great to orient and to direct the week and the day. This week's priority. So it's kind of recapping that on a day-to-day basis. And then when we go into like the next day, so this is the start of the week, right? So this is like, let's say Sunday, depending on what day you think is the start of the week, it'll give you your intentions for the week. And then you have your day-to-days. So I'll put my day, but this only gives you one page for the day versus this planner gives you 2 pages. And the reason I even highlight something like that is from my brain chemistry, having space to brain dump over 2 pages. Good morning. Good morning. I see you. What's going on, Erica? How you doing? I think that becomes really helpful and it doesn't make it wrong, but like even on these, it's like, okay, today's main goal, one goal. I think it's important to have one goal, 3 priorities. That's great. Giving good direction, even for ADHD brain chemistry. Schedule, each hour is broken down, and then a to-do list. So you have 8 things to do, and then you can rate your productivity. So it does have a measurable component. So there's pretty good stuff to this. To me, the missing piece is it doesn't afford as much room for brain dumping and being able to just like lean into that. And the thing that I really like the most about cross compare to this one is it has points associated to each task. So you can add up your points. And at the end, it gives you a daily score. So you either have a weekday, an average day, a strong day, or an outstanding day. And my goal is to have an outstanding day, obviously. And really more importantly, it adds up your points at the end of the week so that you can say my real intention for all of last year was to have 100% outstanding weeks. So each week I've had an outstanding week for the last year straight, and I can see the momentum I've created from that. And it doesn't mean, again, I'm always going to be perfect. I might have a week where I'm not outstanding, but that's been like a really strong intention for the year. Because the cool thing is it falls in line with my 80% principle. Muted. That's why. Okay. I can't hear you. Thank you. Let's see. Can you hear me now? No. Okay. That's important. All right. We're going to pause really quick. That's why I was getting a violation on TikTok. Oh, geez. Okay, so that's helpful. That's why like TikTok had a little like violation pop up because they can't hear me. Of course, I spill everything. This box, it's killing me. Okay, so let's change our audio here. Let's see how I can get this. Let's go to our settings. Microphone. How about now? Can you guys hear me now? How about everywhere else? Can you guys hear me on like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, all that good stuff? Okay. Working on it. Okay. Okay. What's going on? That's interesting. Ooh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my headphones. Check this out. We're going to grab a set of headphones. This is where Bluetooth headphones come into play and also having a backup microphone. So we're going to implement actually a couple of products in real time that I don't have in the carousel on Amazon, but I'll be able to tag them once I do, because these are legit very helpful items. So for example, we're going to plug in right here. Plug in right here. See if I can throw this. microphone into play. We'll go to snowball mic. Bam. There we go. Okay. Let's see if the snowball mic is working. Let's refresh the page and voila. Bam. How about now? How's that sound? Let's check. There we go. That should be good. Let me know. Thank you, by the way, Mincy. All right, we got it. I think we pretty much got it. We got the snowball mic going. Boom. Appreciate you. How to get my backup microphone going. So thank you, by the way. That was helpful because I noticed the notification. I wasn't sure why TikTok did that. So very helpful. And also, Mincy, I got to say, fun fact, and everyone watching, now we'll dive into the silent work with me flow because I was kind of killing some time going through some products. Is the first person to comment, screenshot it, and send me an email will get a gift card. I do that pretty much every live stream, but we're celebrating 700 subscribers on YouTube today. So you're actually going to get a $70 LOF gift card instead of our traditional $50 LOF gift card. So, how about now? Yeah, dang, it's muted again. What is going on? I bet you. No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to refresh. Last year's a few more. How about now? There we go. I wonder if it keeps cutting out. A few more appears to contain on the real life interaction. Low quality experience. Can you follow? Well, what's up, Legos? Now, okay. Can you hear me again? Let's see. That's good. I got the echo going there. Anyways, so it's a long way of saying of if you want a $70 gift card, take a screenshot that you commented. And the first person to send me that email to lifeofafighter@gmail.com will get the $70 LOF gift card because we're celebrating 700 subscribers on YouTube. So with that being said, okay, I wanted to just wrap up really quickly. I was kind of dropping some insight on. So I was comparing again our daily planner to my ADHD planner. Again, I think the daily planner for most people is going to be a great option. But if you have ADHD or neurodivergencies in any capacity, like I do, I think the Wilkie one is just kind of the move. And also, what I will say is a bonus to have just in general, no matter who you are, no matter what's going on. Dude, this audio is killing me. It is worthwhile having a dotted journal. So being able to, I'm sorry. I feel like TikTok is messing with me right now. I'm about to just end the live stream on TikTok. How about end the live because they're killing me. So we got the dotted journal. And again, it's just a blank journal. But I think the cool thing about this, you can be very creative with how you map your ideas out, map your thoughts out, how all of that looks, and being able to just, again, have like, I like this as the way I think of this is like a backup journal to just like put down all my ideas. You can use it however you want, but I think that's a really valuable piece. Okay. With that being said, let's see if I can figure this out. Let's get our silent workflow going. And I'm going to set the timer. Let's see here. No? Yeah, it's still muted. What is going on here? Let's see if I can figure out why TikTok is getting crazy. What is going on? Automatic. Recently used. Boom. How about, dude, that is killing. How's that? All right, let's see if we can figure this out. And if not, all right, we're going to get a silent workflow. So I'm going to set a timer. We're going to do 25 minutes on the clock, and we're just going to silently work. Where's all my apps? Oh, no, all my apps got deleted. Yeah, now. All right, cool. Looks like there's a system update on my watch that just ripped all my apps off here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use a different app to set a timer. We're going to get 25 minutes. And let's get rocking. All right, ready? I got us on the clock. Let's rock, y'all. Okay. Okay. Let's go through it. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. Chrome. There we go. Hey, hey, what's going on? Is that City or Sid? What's up? All right, let's get into. We got round one workflow. Let's get going. Got lots of stuff to do. Hopefully the audio stays. Let's see. It looks like the same. All right. This is where the planner comes into play. Let's see what we got here. We got that. Oh yeah, let me text. Okay. She's also first. Okay. All right. Let's go through that. So now let's pull up the rest of our workflow. Okay. Where's it? Man, there's around where I can. See how the audio is sounding on TikTok. You're killing me, TikTok. There we go. That's a lot. Okay. That's interesting. Windows. Okay, let's do that. I'll even jump into the live. See how much time do we have left? Oh, no. 15 minutes. That's good. Mm. Mm. Huh. That's interesting. There we go. Okay. Mm. Thank you. Let's just we got like 5 minutes left on time. We're doing on time. boom. All right, we got like 3 more minutes, y'all. Home stretch. Boom. All right. So that is our first round. We're going to take a 5 minute break. Let me just throw 5 minutes on the clock here. Boom. Press play. Let me see if I can even screen share this. Share screen. Bada bing. Bada boom. We'll throw this. See if I can throw this in the corner. And just how I want to present it. So we got 5 minutes basically to take a break. Let's go this way. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, we don't want that. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to take a 5 minute break here. The first thing I always like to invite when we're taking a break in between our workflows is to come back to our breath. Okay, let me make sure everyone can hear me here. There we go. Perfect. So the first thing we're going to do is sit away from the back of our chair. And and this is something I'm pulling from Carrie. If you guys have ever done yoga with her or probably any like yoga class where they prompt breathing, this is going to be a really effective technique. We're going to take one hand, put it on our chest, the other hand, put it on our belly button or our solar plexus. And what we're trying to feel for here is, are we breathing with our chest or are we breathing with our diaphragm? Okay. So what I mean by that is, if we're breathing with our diaphragm, let me see if I can actually bring this seat up a little bit so you guys can kind of see how I'm positioning my hand. So if I'm breathing with my diaphragm, my belly button is going to come out as I inhale. So that's what we're going to try and look to do. We're going to take about 30 seconds or so of breathing. Again, in through our nose, out through our mouth. And however long we're breathing in, we're trying to exhale twice as long. So we're going to breathe in. Let's do one more here. All right. Thank you for content violator. What? Well, I'm gonna reset. Looks like my live stream on Amazon. Everything's kind of getting messed with. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I take too long breathing. Curious. But now we're going to transition into a combination of stretching. So that being said, let's get our stretch on. Okay. So we got our breath. Now we're going to do a little bit of stretching. What's helpful about using stretching, especially in between our task transitions and our workflows with the Pomodoro timer, is it helps from a physical standpoint, again, getting blood flow, taking some of the stiffness out, but it also helps with a brain chemistry component of it. It's hopefully Amazon, you guys can hear me. Let me know in the chat. But being able to help with the brain chemistry component. If we can light up different parts of our brain with movement, it can help with executive function, emotional regulation. It can help with even our memory to a certain degree. And in general, movement we know can help with BDNF release and utilization, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which helps just connect neurons, pathways, kind of supercharges our brain, if I put it simply. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get a little bit of movement. So what I find helpful is really going to cross our arms or put our hands behind our head. For me today, because where my shoulders are, I'm going to cross my arms. And all we're going to do is when we exhale, we're rotating. What I like to think about, then inhale, back to the center, exhale, opposite way. What I like to think about here is like I'm wringing out a towel. It feels great on my back, but also on the intestines, our organs, our internal system. And then what I also like to think about is rooting my feet into the ground. So as I'm turning to the left, I'm kind of like pushing with my right foot. Get an extra drive. Same thing with my opposite side. So I'm pushing with my left foot, rotating to the right. Let's do one more time each side. And relax. All right, so we got about what, 30 seconds left? Perfect. So I usually like to take the last 30 seconds or so to just kind of reset, get ready for round number 2. So I'm going to pull up my kind of clock here. We'll reset it once it gets down to that timer. And again, we're going to go for round 2 now of our workflow. Now, the cool thing is because my schedule is kind of drastically shifted today. I had a variety of movements happening with some client and coaching calls and appointments. So I have until honestly, whatever time, like till technically 1 o'clock to live stream. I'm not going to do all of this just silent workflow, but I might set up another live stream where I'll tag in Carrie. We'll do yoga, have those kinds of things. But with that being said, we're going to reset the clock. We're going to throw on 25 minutes here and let's get rocking. So we got, again, a 25-minute timer. I'm using this just for the screen sharing prompt reason. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys watching on like Facebook, YouTube, all that fun stuff, Twitch. But normally I use my watch, but I actually have to update my watch because some of the apps got cleared out. So that being said, let's get into round number 2. And I'm going to just double check and make sure that my microphone isn't getting messed up here. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So we should be good here on Amazon as well. Let me pull that up. All right, let's share these blog posts because I just got some updated blog posts I got to edit now for some ADHD themes. Boom. Let's make sure that's linking properly. And okay. Yes. Okay. Now let's copy that link here. Boom. Throw it into here. DJ. So sometimes I like to make this joke, like, because I send in these blog posts for one of the companies that I contract with. I do ADHD based content and blog posts. Like the one I have two this week that I just finished editing and drafting through, which is ADHD friendly emails, how to send an ADHD friendly email, and another one is ADHD friendly budgeting apps, which again, I'm not like a financial expert and or content creating expert from an email perspective, but with someone that coaches in the ADHD space and that like can write, I appreciate these different topics. And my point of saying this is like I send two every week to my point of contact to submit them. And I always feel like DJ Khaled sometimes because I'm like another one and another one. And I just like keep sending them more content. But I think they kind of enjoy the joke and the reference. Let's just type in. Bam. Okay. Bye. Boom. Okay, I think that's good. We got that. Take that out. Let's drop that here. Keep it down. I had that here the whole time. Hopefully that's not too loud. Scooch all this stuff back. Turn that coffee pour. Good coffee pour. Rotate through here. Okay. Let's see, that's good. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Search. New. There we go. Found it. Nailed it. No. There we go. Okay, boom. Here, here. Okay. So we got jobs. Okay, cool. Nice, 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 nice. Bands. Okay. Let's go. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so we've got All right, I'm gonna do a quick check in here, and then we're quietly working, but we're on round number two, and I wanted to just share the timer for those of you that can't see the timer because I'm only screen sharing it on some of my screens. We've got about just over 10 minutes left. We have like 11 minutes, 30 seconds, and I wanted to just like do a quick check in. If you guys have questions, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. If you guys are even finding value in this, I always love to know. Please let me know, whether it's with like a like, a heart, in the comments. Let me know if you're finding value from this, because I honestly have time to keep running this session specifically for today. Not always, but for today. And I want to know, if would it be helpful to do a third workflow round? We could technically do another 25-minute round after this. I do have the time for that. But I want to know from you guys if that feels helpful, because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition the live stream and set up another one where I'll probably do a either yoga or workout, like kind of hit or aerobic training session. So if you guys want to kind of do that, let me know, versus continue with the workflow stuff. It would be helpful. So appreciate y'all either way. can hear Hope Bear's awake. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Oh, that's the wrong date. Oh, okay. Uh-oh, what's up, Rob? See, my buddy Rob's calling me. We're gonna have to give him a buzz back. Or should we just invite him? Oh, look, I totally worked through our timer here. This is where, all right, let's reset the timer. We're gonna drop it down to 5 minutes. Boom. All right, let's do one more workflow here, yo. So I've clearly been locked in and not paying attention to the time. That's the one downside I will say to having it on the screen versus anywhere else. The other systems I like on my watch, it vibrates, so I know the time's up. All right, so let's do another kind of break round. So what we're gonna do for this break round is we're just gonna kind of get up and stretch and move a little bit. All right, one of the things that I find effective is somehow this live stream continues to Ken, and the stream has been ended because of content violated or policy prohibiting the streaming of primarily pre-recorded. What? You're killing me, y'all. You're killing me. Amazon's again. They're killing me with this live stream stuff. I'm like, I'm telling you guys, I'm live. It's frustrating. All right, let's get this back up. Boom. Okay. So what we're gonna do, there's gonna be a fun little kind of challenge, hopefully, for everybody. We already did our breath work. We did a little bit of stretching. So now what I want to offer and what we're going to invite here is a bit of balancing. So this is going to be a helpful kind of like transitionary exercise. And what we're going to do is literally for 30 seconds, anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds, we're going to stand with one leg off the ground. Okay, I'm going to give it about 10 seconds to let the clock reset. And what we're going to do here is, again, I want to make sure that you guys are safe. So look around your space, make sure there's nothing you're going to trip or fall on. We're going to lift up in 3, 2, 1. Now, whether you get your leg like an inch off the ground or you chamber it like to 90 degrees, you kind of just hover it. The goal here is to, again, we're going to spend about 30 seconds just hovering on one leg. And the cool thing, I'm going to break down a little bit of the science. Now I'm bringing my leg behind me. We can kind of move it around. But the point of doing this, working on our stability, fires up a couple of parts of our brain, our vestibular system, and even can light up a part of our cerebellum. Now, the cool part about these areas of our brain, they can help when activated or utilized with a higher blood flow and time. We'll switch those legs. They can help with symptoms that mimic or show up as ADHD, for example, executive function, emotional regulation, and even some memory. So by being able to just literally standing on one leg for 30 to 60 seconds, it can work our vestibular system, our balancing system, and help with executive function or organization systems, even just memory. Which is a pretty cool trick because literally it can take 1 minute and this enhances how you show up on your next workflow. And I can see like right to left, my left leg felt a little bit more stable. My right one's feeling a little bit less shaky and time. So we'll shake it out and just literally that. Now, the other cool thing is you can do what's called non-dominant hand things, tasks. For example, instead of writing with my right hand, I would write with my left hand, those types of activities. But I'm going to take the next 2 minutes to run to the bathroom real quick, and we're going to do one more workflow. And then I'm going to see if Carrie wants to tag in with yoga. So I'm going to try and do one more workflow, Carrie. But then we can do the yoga session. They actually just reset. Or we can do it at 12. I can like take a break.
Whoa. There you go. You did it. Happy. So strong.
All right, y'all. So got just enough time. We got 1 minute. Sounds like Carrie's down to do some yoga based on how Baby Hope's nap schedule is going to be. So I think we're going to get yoga set up here. Probably we'll shoot still to start at maybe 11:30, 11:45. We shall see though. But just make sure you're following, subscribing, all that good stuff. So even if I end the live stream, I will add the schedule to it. And I wonder what's going on with Amazon. Amazon, why are you guys messing with my live stream? You know, is it my audio? Is my audio getting messed up? And then like something's happening. Speaking of that, let's actually pin, even on TikTok, I'm going to pin a couple of different products. But we got about 30 seconds left here. And then we're going to go to our last workflow of this body doubling session. So we're going to get in our third one. Normally I do 2, but because we got extra time here, I'm able to get in 3. So hopefully you guys are finding value in this.
Just double checking. You have until 12
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have my next thing's at 1.
Your next thing's at 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I vacuum now, or is it not a good time?
I mean, for
You're
a
gonna live stream?
silent, I'm literally live right now.
Oh. Okay.
So
Sorry.
see all these like
Yeah.
things.
All right. Whoops a daisy. All right. So you let me know when you're done.
All right, let's get that timer reset. I love how sometimes like unaware we can be, not just Carrie, like all of us, myself included. I can be so unaware. It's kind of hilarious. All right, let's go our last workflow, our last round number 3. And let's get it. She's like, hey, do you mind if I vacuum while you're trying to silently work with everyone? Yes, I do. I love you, Carrie. Okay. With that being said, though, let's get round number 3. I'll actually throw that in the chat. Round 3, 25 minutes. Let's rock. Boom. Let's rock it, y'all. And let's see, where's my Amazon? Yeah, I don't know why. Like, for some reason, Amazon wants to mess with my live streams, y'all. I don't know what's going down. I can hear Hope in the other room too. It's kind of hilarious. And again, if you guys have questions or like want to know things about the products, let me know. I'll gladly answer them, whether it's the planners that I'm using, laptop, the tech, even the like, honestly, there's a perfect time to plug some of the extensions, even my Snowball mic, like all the stuff you guys have questions on, let me know. And there's that live stream. Boom. Okay. Let's get into it. God. I think the only thing I'm missing is we got oh geez. Oh geez. And all my photos dropped. All the photos dropping. Okay. Let's do a new patient visit. Let's go back to patient. Okay. Mm. The 11th, right? Okay. Billing. Here. Okay. Let's see. Claim invalid. Oh, I need date of birth. Right. That birthday. Can't forget about that birthday. Let's update. Okay, let's update. That looks good. That's a problem. Let's see. Billing. What do we need? What am I missing? What are we missing here? Oh, wait, maybe it's under vital info. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Subscriber. That's what it is. Okay. Update. Just that. Okay. Okay. All right, bam. Looks like we got our stuff submitted here. Okay. Close out that. Throw that right there. Boom. Close out that. Close out that. Okay. Oh, here we go. What does that mean? It's up and press Okay, this just means you're processing. Got it. Okay, let's see. Reports. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, cool. Cool beans. All right, we got that checked out. Now let's check out. Oh, this is the test. Just from Reddit. That's the other thing I got to sign up for. Let's pick out some other blog posts. Call me. Look at Rob lighting up the chat. I love you, Rob. You're hilarious. How about this, Rob? This is what we're going to do. Let's see if I can invite Rob. Oh, that's a little risky, though. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm tempted to invite my buddy Rob into this stream, but there's a risk to doing that. It's a calculated risk. I don't know if that's the move. Manhattan, that's it. You're welcome, LB. All right. All right. Okay. Let's go to okay. Whoa. Let's see what unclaimed topics we got. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's open this puppy up. Let's 27. Cool. Down. Okay. How does it do it? Oh, that's a good one too. Let's go in progress, due date next week. Bam. Okay, cool. We got that down. All right, let's see, where is our time at? Yeah, what, like 10 more minutes for this live stream? Okay. Okay. You know what we're gonna do, y'all? I'm gonna start with the first letter. I wonder if you know what I was thinking? I was like, I buy so much stuff on Amazon. I was thinking before, I'm like, can I buy stamps on Amazon? I know I can't because of certain regulations, but I'm gonna check anyway, just cause it'll blow my mind if you can buy stamps on Amazon. Yeah, can you? I'm sure you can buy like printers, right? Yeah. No way. You can buy stamps on Amazon. Postage stamps, 1 roll, 100 count. No way. Okay. Well, it's not additional. Yeah, literally just go. You could totally buy stamps on Amazon. That blows my mind. All right, so we're gonna have to do that. Stamps cost. Let's see. How much should a roll of 100 stamps cost? If it's what, 25 cents a stamp? How much is a stamp nowadays? I don't even know. Around $78. The price per stamp is currently, whoa, price per stamp 78 cents. I thought it was like 25 cents. Dang. Okay. Okay. That makes about sense. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see what a roll of 20. So it should be what, like 15 bucks, give or take, like 16. Yeah, that mathematically that adds up. Okay, let's see if I can find me. I don't want garden stamps. Yeah, there we go. We just want that. Let's see, options. That's not good. Let's go back. That's hilarious. Winter landscapes. No. Here we go. Okay. Dude, I love technology, man. Still overpaying a little bit for these, but yeah, love me a good stamp. Ooh, okay, so what's that? That's 21, that's 19. Okay. Let's buy these stamps up. Save that for later. I always forget sometimes when I put stuff in the cart for my kids. I'm like, yeah, we'll add this for like shopping for later. And then I go in, I'm like, oh, right, I have like this rainbow axolotl. It's like a heated pad. It's hilarious. Okay, let's order up our stamps. Also, probably going to throw in. Let's continue to check out. Oh, let's go here. And over to this address. Okay. Bam. All right. Stamp sorted on Amazon. Who would have thunk it? All right, so here is what we're going to do. I'm going to use this. So I want to write some letters. Boom, got my first letter of gratitude written and done. We got the stamps ordered. This feels so good just to have that like little piece already done. I can't tell you guys. I'm really pumped about just getting that done. And the goal is for the next like week or so to continuously get those written and done and just like spreading positive vibes, man. It's a key thing. Let's see. We got 2 minutes. I got just in time too. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to close out that. Let's see if I can go into here. Let's check our task for today really quickly, just because I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. It's always helpful to check on the tasks. We got like what, 2 more minutes. Let's see what's due today. Okay. Chase. Let's check. Let's see. Note. What is that? It's probably. Oh, home stretch. There we go. Okay, let's do this. Let's just check back in. Okay, overview. Let's go to notes. Uh, let's see. We got like 30 seconds. All right, let's circle that back. Boom, activities. Let's mark that off. So that'd be okay, boom. And that's in there. Let's go. Okay. All right, looks like I'm gonna overdo things. Dang it. Okay. So we literally perfect timing. We're gonna stop that. That is the end of our third workflow. Let me check in with Carrie to kind of see now what the game plan is, because I'm either going to maybe continue a workout. I'll probably wrap it up here. I'll pop back out, get a live stream set up. And hello, Mincy. What's going on? How we doing? Let's see if my audio right. There we go. How you doing? Thanks for popping back in, by the way. I see you. All right, let's double check with Karen and see what we're gonna do here. All right. Let's investigate. Carrie! Hey, what do you want to do? Oh, yes, that's such a good idea. And I have all the live stream going. So, yo, come check this out with me, guys. So, Carrie is making. So, this is kind of a little impromptu here. I'm going to try and see if I can travel this the best way possible. Carrie's making my favorite dessert. We're going to be launching a new cookbook, a dessert cookbook. And with the dessert cookbook, it's got the staple, my absolute favorite recipe is a protein-infused peanut butter cup recipe. So, come check this out. Let's see if this audio. It was good. All right, I'm gonna try and figure out how I'm gonna carry all of you guys. First, we're gonna bring Amazon. Amazon, come check this out. I don't even have all the products we're using in here, but I'm gonna set up Amazon first. I can even tag, but it's gonna be started first. And yeah, but all this is on Amazon, so I'll just circle back. Okay, not. You definitely not. All right, and then I'm gonna get the other thing, and then we'll maybe do our other live stream. So, yo, come check out this delicious recipe with us. Come check out what we're cooking up, and by we I mean Carrie, because Carrie's doing all the cooking here. Come check it out. This is an interesting day. Normally I have coaching calls at this time, but was able to pivot and move
on Tuesdays. I'm
All right,
making
so-
some very healthy.
This was perfect because I got to use my snowball mic. Have you ever seen this?
Oh yeah,
It's like
I
an
haven't,
old
but I haven't
school-
seen it hooked up.
Yeah, like the girls always ask about it.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm gonna
remember
just
when
double
that
check.
first came out years ago. I had a friend that had one.
Yeah, I mean, when it first came out, it was really awesome. I mean, it still is awesome. I don't want to like underplay it.
Yeah.
All right, let me get the TV set up. And then, should I schedule because I could literally keep this live stream going
Yeah.
and just like silently work with me.
Yeah. You should schedule this as like a thing, but it's not gonna take very long. So I don't know.
Cooking.
No, this part of it doesn't take very long.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to schedule and do like we're live already. I'm just going to keep it live. I'm saying for the yoga, if you want to do yoga,
Oh yeah, we should do that.
like I can do a separate one for that.
I just-
But sometimes it's actually helpful to just keep the live going,
Yeah.
even if it's like meaning like we don't.
Stuff.
No, we don't switch stuff.
No,
Like
I'm
just
saying,
keep
like,
the
switching the
yeah.
tasks, but
yeah, just like switching stuff up, but like, and I won't necessarily even add the products. Okay, let's see. Can they actually see? Can you guys see what Carrie's doing right now?
Might need one like over. down, but I can also bring it to the camera.
Yeah, I would just like.
So right now I'm going to show the products that I'm mixing. We have 3/4 cup of super fine almond flour. You could probably use coconut flour too. However, I never have, but you might want more liquid in your ratio. You have to add like some milk or some water.
I'm just gonna keep this microphone over here.
I'm also using 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You can use any maple syrup that you like. I really like this Highland Sugar Works brand. I like the darker maple syrup, so I'm using 2 tablespoons of that. And this is not normally in the recipe, but we like to add protein. So not a terrible amount, but I do like a 1/4 cup of this protein powder for the recipe, which does make it a little bit more, the consistency is a little bit more thick, but it's still malleable. I'll show you guys how I form them into egg shapes. It's still malleable enough to where they turn out great and they taste really good. So I'm also feeding the baby her banana lunch here because she just woke up from her nap. So tagging and doing that so she's not screaming at me.
To the bathroom and then I can like tag.
And then this is the brand of peanut butter I like to use. You can use any kind that you like. I like this Jif because it's no added sugar. Most of the kind of like bigger brand peanut butters have sugar in them. I appreciate that Jif offers a no added sugar option because peanut butter tastes perfectly fine without sugar for us. We are a big fan of peanut butter in this household. But if you wanted to use a different brand, it's fine. I just wouldn't recommend using like a natural peanut butter because the consistency, again, is going to be a little off. I do like these more kind of creamy, already pre-mixed consistencies for this particular recipe. So you mix all it up. We got our almond flour, our protein powder. We use a chocolate whey. And again, you can use any brand you like. The kind that we get is from Publix Organic, but any chocolate whey. We've used several different ones in this recipe. They all work really well.
I actually like my personal favorite is the Nutter Butter. But we still have the empty container for the Nutter Butter.
If we do, it's probably under there somewhere.
Another thing I'll also show too is I like the crunchies in it. Also, if you don't want a strong added flavor, like this is just like Sports Research protein. The collagen, here's the one thing I'll say with this collagen peptides, it's a flavorless option, unflavored. So you get your protein, but honestly, it's good. It's just, to me, it's slightly overpriced. It's quality. If you want to get like a really high quality and you're willing to pay for it, this is a good option, but it's somewhat, in my opinion, overpriced even. But again, it's a great like full spectrum protein, amino acid, unflavored, that you can throw in if you don't want to have it overpowered by the protein.
So yeah, we like the chocolate, you know, so I feel like the chocolate works really
you know, we also have this as well, and I like the ancestral protein.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember if I like that one or not. I forgot about that.
This one I personally like, and this one's got 20 grams of protein, 90 calories. I want to say, here's the only thing I'm a little torn about. I don't know who's the original owner of the ancestral supplements line, but I want to say it's the Liver. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, I kind of have some qualms about that.
Yeah.
But actually, I mean, in real time, let's fact check this.
All right. So while I'm feeding the baby banana here, tagging in, I want to show you guys the consistency. It does take, just fair warning, if you're going to add the protein in, it's going to take a little longer to mix. You can totally do this Reese's recipe without the added protein and just do the almond flour, the peanut butter, and the maple syrup, and it'll mix up pretty quick. But when you mix in the whey protein, this is kind of the consistency that you're going to be looking at. It's pretty sticky. You know, if you think about the inside of a Reese's, it's very similar to that consistency.
So I did actually check, to be honest. Sorry, I'm just like, so the Liver King actually does own this company, or he's, I think, the primary owner of it. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of him or just the whole dynamic of how he decided to go about business. But what I will say, I will give props to the actual, like, to me, the quality of this brand and their like ingredients align. However, I got to be honest with you, I think after this batch, I'm probably not going to be utilizing it as much just because like I don't really want to support him, if I'm being honest. But I actually like, if you guys don't care about that, you're less biased maybe to me or less than me, it's a great option. But again, they put like all this emphasis on like the organ meats and all that. Dude, it's yes, it's a good source of protein, but like, again, you can sometimes be overpaying for stuff like that. The one thing I like seeing in here is the mushroom blend. Now, anytime they say a blend though, they can put in different ratios. So see how there it says regenerative superfood blend, 570 milligrams. That means it could have like different ratios. You don't know how much of it is actually the cordyceps mushrooms, You don't know how much of it is the lion's mane mushroom, how much of it is like bovine spleen, or like it's probably like there is an opportunity for them to put the cheapest stuff in and then like mix it with more expensive stuff and like overcharge you for it, especially because of like who that Liver King kind of person has been online and his willingness to deceive. But what I will say is from me checking it and looking at it, they are third-party tested, verified. I've looked online. I've not seen any complaints from their company. So I do like the brand from past using it. Now that I know that like Liver King like kind of is behind it, I'm like, I don't want to support it. But I genuinely like their stuff. So now I'm kind of torn.
All right, while I'm doing this part, would you mind just finish?
Let's be baby hook.
I'm going to show you guys what I use. This is actually an ice cream scoop that you can get on Amazon. You can do different ounces. I think this is the 2-ounce size ice cream scoop. You can even do 1.5 and it'd be fine. But it does make with the consistency of the Reese's, it does make kind of scooping them out and shaping them easier and more consistent. So I don't do a whole scoop because again, this is a 2-ounce. You're probably better off with like a 1.5. So I kind of like level it off and put it onto a tray. I like to normally use parchment paper. However, I'm out of parchment paper and forgot to get it at the grocery store. So I'm using saran wrap. I think it'll be just fine. You don't have to bake anything. You just put it in the freezer for 30 minutes after this step. So I just wanted something that I just feel like it's probably more likely to stick to the metal over the plastic. So that's why I'm using that. Yeah, just kind of pack it in, scoop it out. With the added whey protein, it usually makes about 12 little what I call Reese's eggs that I will shape them into, and I'll show you guys how I do that. But if you don't add the protein in, you're probably looking at more like 9 to 10 portions. So keep that in mind if you're doing the original recipe. And the other part to this is the coating, of course, the Reese's coating, the chocolate coating. And I like to use the Ghirardelli semi-sweet brand of chocolate chips. With a cup of those, so here they are in the bowl, you just melt them down in the microwave, along with a teaspoon of coconut oil. You can use any brand coconut oil you like. I have a leftover Trader Joe's coconut oil here, so I will be using that. But there's lots of great brands. I've used tons. They all work equally well in this recipe. Let's get our little last couple ones on here. Actually, looks like I have so much product today, I could use 13, but I think since about 12 fit on my pan, I'm just going to bulk up some of my earlier ones and just add a little extra.
Oh, I spilled some of that.
That's all right. Misha will clean it up. We have our trusty dog, Misha, here for all of our various spills in the household from the kids and us with food.
She ate all of that.
She's better than any vacuum.
Get yourselves a dog. I don't think that's available on Amazon. But...
Yeah. If you have kids, dogs are very helpful, especially really loyal, wonderful dogs. Misha, people literally stop us all the time when we're walking her and ask us if they can buy her or if they can have her or where we got her. She gets way more attention than anyone else in the family. All right. So now we have our scoops here of our Reese's eggs. There's 12 of them. And then what you're going to do is just kind of like mold these. I kind of just like pat them down a little bit and mold them into, if you've ever had the Reese's eggs during Easter time, you're kind of looking for that shape because that will make it easier to coat them later. If you leave them too beefy, if you don't kind of flatten them out, if you don't kind of flatten them out, it'll take longer for them to freeze and you won't really have that even consistency when you bite in. So you do want them to be, I would say about maybe a 1/4 inch of width, thickness from the pan to the top. Kind of a couple little pats. I used to be really particular about the way they looked. Now I'm more just about making sure that I have the right consistency. So some of our shapes are a little less glamorous, but nonetheless, they'll taste good and they'll freeze evenly. It's Easter all year long here, right? In the Reese's department, anyway. Maybe that's why I like making these so much. Easter is my favorite holiday, and everybody loves Christmas. Oh. I have another half a banana too, but I just figured I'll save that for later for her. All right. So, yeah, these look pretty good and even. So I'll show you guys what they look like when you're done patting They're kind of like little eggs, again, about a 1/4 inch thickness, maybe slightly more, but you want it even throughout so that they freeze evenly and so that the bites are even. And then you're just going to pop them in the freezer for 30 minutes. Sometimes I set the timer, but today I'm actually baking less healthy cookies using the rest of my Hershey's Kisses that I got for Christmas. So I don't need to set a timer because that'll take me about 30 minutes. And then while those are in the freezer, I'm going to melt my Ghirardelli chocolates with my coconut oil. Again, just a teaspoon of coconut oil. Honestly, I don't measure it out. I just kind of eyeball it because I make these so often that I know. And the coconut oil, for any of you that use coconut oil in baking during the wintertime, you know it's like nice and hard and difficult to work with. So it's easier for me to just put something harder in there to get my scoops out rather than the little measuring cup. Microwave those. Usually takes about 1.5 minutes, sometimes 2 minutes. And I let it sit in the microwave while the eggs are freezing. That way it stays nice and warm. You don't want it too hot because when the eggs come out of the freezer and they're super cold, if your chocolate has just been microwaved and it's super hot, it doesn't always quite work as well. It's easier to have it at like a nice warm temp. So again, I microwave them early. Then I let them sit in the microwave, and then by the time the eggs come out, the chocolate's still slightly warm. Give it a little stir. Still slightly warm, and the consistency works out great for shaping. So yeah, I'll go ahead and let that set for 30 minutes while I guess we do something else, unless you guys want to bake these cookies. And we'll get back to the Reese's when the time is up. Hope Bear's fed. She's happy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end this live stream and then I'll just set up for the yoga exercise.
Yeah, maybe when we start,
we can just show like, hey, by the way, this is
yeah. Oh yeah, and I also use this spring salt. Dude, I forgot to mention this. This is like one of the most important things. So once I do coat the Reese's in the chocolate, I quickly, while it's still like somewhat warm, use this spring salt. This is like our favorite thing to put on top of the Reese's. It seems like an inconsequential thing, but the actual Reese's in the store do have salt in them, and it'll totally enhance the flavor. And it's a nice kind of juxtaposition between the sweetness. They're really big, chunky salts. I don't know if you could see it on camera here, but they're like the bigger ground salts. And so you just sprinkle a tiny little pinch atop each one. It looks really cute and it tastes delicious. The kids used to request them without salt, and then they tried some with salt, and now they're like, no, we want the salt one. So even kid approved. Yeah, that's how you know it's good. All right, so my chocolate chippies are out. So I'm just going to give them a little stir and probably microwave them again, and then I'll just like let them sit. Bada bing, bada boom. So happy to be on the live stream in my red hair robe with my glasses on.
Rocking that real life.
Rocking that real life look. But way less glamorous. One of these days I gotta get on the live stream with my makeup and nice clothes so that people know that I can glow up. I just learned about that term at work the other day. Glow up. That's what all the young kids say.
So glad you're getting in on the wing yet.
I am. All right.
All right, y'all. I think we're gonna wrap up this. Unless you want to do like baking cookies.
Yeah, I mean I'm baking, so if you want to keep it going, I literally bake. This is probably not.
What do you got? You tell me.
I once had a little mini bakery. So very used to baking cookies. I bake so many different types of cookies. I just use recipes in my head that I've made over the years. So I don't know if you'll find these online somewhere. You probably will, or some kind of variation of this. But
one thing I would say is I always try and put a mindful, healthy spin on anything. So
yeah,
I'm curious your thoughts
on
how you incorporate, because I think buying them is like the least healthy, most processed version of eating anything, right?
For sure.
Like even just making your own cookies becomes a somewhat more healthy transformation or transformative process.
Yeah.
So I'm curious your like spin on that. Also, while we're doing this, do you care if I do my like 30 minutes of intervals? I'm gonna jump.
Yeah, you do your thing. Hope Bear love to watch you.
Hope Bear, we're gonna jump out.
Yeah, so I definitely would say I can't even remember the last time I bought store cookies. Like honestly, 'cause I've been baking for so many years that especially when it gets cold and the weather outside invites you to bake, I definitely usually keep baked goods on hand between us and the kids. I like my sweets. I like my warm stuff, and I like having the oven on in the house. Our house gets pretty darn cold in the winter, um, so it's nice to just have stuff in the oven and have the nice smell in the house. And that's kind of how I grew up. So between my grandma and my mom, they're always making everything themselves. So I'm just used to that as well. Now I mostly try to buy organic stuff. I have like organic wheat flour instead of regular flour, just like lots of little ways you can make cookies a little bit more healthy. I have organic sugar. My brown sugar is regular. I have organic vanilla extract. I've got nice pasture-raised organic eggs. I've got grass-fed butter. So again, this is going to be much higher quality than anything you're going to get at a store, even though it might not be quite as quite a healthy option. Let's say we do limit sugar in this household, especially for the kids. We make sure they eat like a nice balanced diet, but we offer them dessert, and we don't want to withhold sweets. I know a lot of parents are kind of under the just operate with withholding sweets from the kids, and we've just found, especially with them being social, they're exposed to so much different kinds of sugar that building up some kind of sugar tolerance benefits them, especially because they like our littlest one has the least tolerance. She'll go crazy if she gets too much sugar. So you gotta kind of slowly build up that tolerance because you know they're going to get exposed to it during the holidays, for birthdays. And I'd much rather have control over the ingredients of the types of things she's eating rather than buy stuff in the store. Just like with like the Ninja Creami in the summer. So I'll more bake cookies and brownies and things in the winter. But the Ninja Creami in the summer, again, gives us the option to have a little more control over the ice cream and the sweets and frozen yogurts and things like that, rather than all the, I mean, geez, you look at the average ice cream in the store and there's probably 20 to 30 ingredients in there. Originally, when ice cream was invented, it was just cream and milk and sugar and then flavor. It wasn't all that complicated. So these are the kind of ways that I think you can be mindful of having healthy options, even when it comes to the more luxurious items that you want to have higher up on the food pyramid, I guess, so to speak, eating less often. So yeah, this recipe is pretty simple. It's kind of like a chocolate chip cookie recipe, but I got gifted this cute little snowman for Christmas, and it was filled with Hershey Kisses, which we don't normally buy. However, since I have them, I thought, well, instead of just giving the kids a bunch of chocolate, why don't I make cookies that are kind of like chocolate chip cookies and just put the Hershey Kiss in the center because it's fun. And the kids like unwrapping the little Hershey Kisses and pressing them into the cookies. We did that last week. So I'm just finishing up the last bit of these cookies for that. So the base for the chocolate chip cookie, the cookie part of the recipe is 2 sticks of butter, which I think would total or a cup of butter. Yeah, 2 sticks of butter, a cup of butter. We have 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup of regular sugar. Use organic if you can, obviously. We're going to mix that up, which I'm doing now. And we'll have 2 eggs and a teaspoon of, or half teaspoon of baking soda. No, whoops. Sorry, a full teaspoon of baking soda. Sometimes I make half recipes, so a full teaspoon of baking soda and a full, I know sometimes people like to use less salt, which I totally get, but I find that the salt tends to bring the flavor out a little more. So I do a full teaspoon of salt as well. However, you could definitely use a half teaspoon if you want to diet fast. So I do a full teaspoon of salt, a full teaspoon of baking soda. Then we're going to do the 2 eggs. I like to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I know a lot of people do 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I find that adding that little extra vanilla, especially with the organic natural vanilla, brings forward the flavor a little more, and it's just a flavor I enjoy. We'll add that in. I have this giant thing of organic vanilla extract from back when I had the bakery. This is kind of like leftover stuff. We'll mix all that in along with the eggs, and then all that's left is our flour. I love that you're working out while I'm baking cookies. That's us in a nutshell. No, I do work out often as well and teach yoga, but
I think everyone would argue, even though I do all the working out, you look way better than I do. So obviously, whatever you're doing is working. And then, good morning. Oh, you know what? It looked like, for whatever reason, on Amazon, it keeps showing up as muted, which is why it's dropping off. Because someone just went in the comments like, "Hey, you're muted."
Oh, is it because of microphone?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But I feel like the entire live stream has probably been like dropping, cutting in and out with Bluetooth. Because even on my TikTok live, it was doing that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm tempted. I gotta charge this anyway.
Alrighty. Well, I gave them most of my recipe anyway, except for the amount of flour and chocolate.
I'm doing 4x4, so I'm gonna do 4 minutes on, 4 minutes off. So I have 2.5 more minutes. Should I set up for a yoga live stream?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put these in the oven.
What time do you think I should schedule it? Like 11:30 now.
I think
12.
Yeah, I think 12.
I can do it from my phone.
And what kind of flow do you think today? I was kind of thinking maybe like a lower back flow. Like, do you want me to keep it 20, 30 minutes or more like a 45-minute hour full flow?
I'm do a 45-minute one because I'm doing my work.
Okay. You're going to do yoga with me after?
If you're gonna do, I'm not allowed to do a full one, but
Okay.
we do like 20 to 30.
Okay. All right, 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a focus on the back, relax the back flow.
Okay.
You got to do more flour at the store.
What should be the theme of the yoga?
Yeah, I would say relax the back yoga flow. I'm going to focus mostly on back just because I feel like anybody who works, if they want to like do yoga midday, like focusing on releasing lower back tension and strengthening back muscles. Well, yeah, Hopi Bear. Maybe is this live still on your laptop?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna get back. Do you want me to end it?
Yeah. So I'm about to get in the shower.
All right, y'all. Stay tuned. We'll be back at 12. Get our yoga on.
Try to rinse my